So I haven't been able to write as much lately because I've been suffering with a condition known as myasthenia gravis, and it affects my ability to type and play my keyboards, guitar, things like that. I'm being treated for it, and it seems to be getting better, but I have various things to do, and those things sometimes are more pressing than things we need to write about. I mean, pressing for me and my family immediately. So I installed this app from Sony on my phone, my Android phone, and it's an audio recorder, so I thought I could start maybe putting some thoughts out this way, and it'd probably be easier anyway, and trying to look up spellings for things that I often forget the spelling of, or have a little bit of a mind blank in, or it's those times when I make typos and forget whole paragraphs and words and things like that. In the background you might hear a little silky rooster clucking and going on about stuff, because we have this little silky rooster that we raised from a hatchling, because he had a little problem with his legs, which we corrected, and just couldn't keep up with the other roosters, so he's up there, and we decided to keep him and have him as a companion to us, along with our cats and things like that. Anyway, so yeah, the world's in a little bit of a state lately. My home, the country where I was born, the U.S., I was born in Flint, Michigan, as some of you might know. It's a little bit of mess right now. Lead in the water. I'm glad I'm not down there for that. I'm up here in the wilds of Alberta, Canada. Not a lot of people around, and we have our own water from a well, and raise a lot of our own food when we can. And so I watch a lot of the goings on down in the States and around the world from a pretty safe vantage point, and I'm grateful for that. Well, now Donald Trump has been elected as President of the United States, possibly, and there's various recounts going on here and there, and well, who's to say what's going to happen with those? However, one thing that the whole election of Donald Trump has done is it's sort of shown the left for the hypocrites that they are. Now, don't get thinking that I'm right-wing because I say this, because I'm not. Because earlier on in the primaries, Donald Trump's candidacy sort of showed the right for the hypocrites they are. And so I'm kind of been enjoying this, because as a person who thinks that these little prepackaged things of left and right are just a bunch of baloney. Yeah, it makes me happy to see them breaking down. I mean, I'm more of a siding with people like Alexander Dugin in their fourth political theory, you know, not left or right and against the center, because basically I think the whole problem with politics on a worldwide scale is this little thing of prepackaging bundles of ideas and issues and causes and ethics and morals and whatnot for this group or that group, and still letting people decide on an individual basis on each of these issues how they feel. I mean, I've seen people just automatically shift during this election cycle. I've been seeing it, all throughout my life, and people shift from being against one thing or for one thing based on what people higher up in their particular wing of the airplane are saying. And as I say, if both wings of the airplane are broken, get yourself out your damn seat and get off the airplane. Simple as that, folks. Just get off the damn airplane. Can any of you honestly say that you are for everything that either a liberal or a conservative or a right or left are preaching? I can't. And I don't think most people really can if they're really honest with themselves. So I'm kind of enjoying seeing this breakdown of the left and right in the U.S. and liberals and conservatives, and them really not being as cohesive as they used to be, and people starting to wake up to this. And I'm sure after 4 or 8 years of Donald Trump, that people will be just as pissed as him as they are at Obama presently and were at George Bush beforehand. But I consider this a good thing because it's a breaking down of these prepackaged systems of left and right. And, really, that's the main problem with things going on. Now, another thing that's I've been following a little bit is this whole Pizzagate thing. Now, I'm not here to give you any information on it because I haven't been one of the people actually doing investigations or research into it. I would suggest a video. It's up on YouTube by Mr. Titus Frost, and he has a couple of them up there on Pizzagate, and what they show are very shocking, very disturbing, and basically, if anybody, after watching these, is still like, I don't think so, or this isn't consequential proof, or doubt whether these nefarious child sex trafficking things happen, I would say they most likely are involved in something like that and trying to cover up, because from what I've seen, these people posting on their Instagram pages and on their Twitter pages and what. And, I am pretty libertine when it comes to art and things like that, but these things are things that even I wouldn't think of as decent or permissible. mean, just really disturbing images of children and teens and um, things that allude to human sacrifice and cannibalism and whatnot. And, they go into talking about how the symptoms that Hillary Clinton has been exhibiting are similar to those of the disease Kuru, which is very common among cannibals in Papua New Guinea. A lot of people not know what Kuru is. I do because, I look at a lot of really weird things like this, and, I have a little bit of an interest in New Guinea. I like the artwork from there. It's disturbing artwork, but I like it. And also, I am a big fan of fowl and birds and things like that. So there's a lot of really cool birds down there. So I got a little study of Papua New Guinea throughout my life. And in that study, part of it was finding out about this disease called Kuru, and it causes really weird shaking and degenerativeness and stuff in the human body. And, I'm not really wanting to, make things worse for Hillary Clinton if she has some other disease. I mean, God forbid. I mean, my mother had Parkinson's disease. I'm suffering from this thing called myasthenia gravis right now. And, we also have problems with, our movement and stuff like that. But, however, not these weird things where, almost look demonic or like from some horror movie or something for a couple of minutes while people are watching that. So, if you have a chance, just check out these videos by Titus Frost on the whole Pizzagate thing. I mean, if they're still up online. And like with anything, I would urge you, if you find something that you're interested in as far as conspiracy theory things or exposure of conspiracies or dark matters or things like that, as always, I would suggest that you download the things and save them, because you never know when the things are going to be taken down, like websites. There's ways to copy entire websites or to copy, to print articles to PDF. Just right click and print and then, save as a PDF file or whatever, like an article, a web article, screen capture pictures. It's easy enough. If you're on Windows, just take them into Paint and just, take your time and go ahead and, things like that you feel may be of importance somewhere in the future, that you feel may be destroyed or taken down. Well, just, save them in some way. Back them up to a hard drive or make hard copies of them, turn them off or whatever. And, because bookmarking really isn't going to do you any good if the things are deleted from a site. Well, that's a thing. Another issue I'd like to talk about, I've been thinking about lately, is a lot of there's this whole issue of fake news going on here and there and here and there. And, now we've seen places like CNN and different places, different major media outlets being exposed for, um, tainted news coverage is the best way I could describe it. Biased, that kind of thing. And then there was that list put out, I believe, on BuzzFeed, and, saying that different sites, 21st Century Wire for one, that they were fake news. Now, 20th Century Wire, they actually have boots on the ground in Syria, actual people over there reporting and things like that. Jay Dyer does a lot of work for that, and I really respect this young man. And, he's doing a really, really good job of putting things out there, as are a lot of the people at 20th Century Wire. So I really thought that it was BS for this BuzzFeed and this professor, feminist studies or whatever, to put out this sort of list that was extremely biased. It had no left-wing sites on there whatsoever. And if it would have been, up and down the middle, some right-wing, some left, I would have been fine with that because, I am not a right-winger at heart. Neither am I a left-winger. I mean, I'm a no-winger, so, that's just one thing I wanted to count. It's just like, seriously, take these blanket indictments of sites and things like that, for what they are. They're fallacious. I mean, basically, the person that wrote that list was applying, using a composition fallacy. What's true of one is true of all, and that's simply, it's a logical fallacy. And basically, she was just saying, okay, these sites are all conservative, they're all right-wing, so they're all fallacious, blah, blah, blah. And then, appealing to some, I'm not really sure what kind of authority she was appealing to, but, the authority of her degree or whatever like that, which, and then all the people that passed around were appealing to her authority as a college professor to make these judgments. When, some of the things that were cited for the various sites weren't even accurate to what they post or what they write about. Just a bunch of nonsense. Another thing I would like to speak to here is a lot of people, they think that they know what is going on or what they're being presented with in the media. I'm talking in news media, entertainment, whatnot. However, many of them are not aware of a thing like called the Great Discourse or the Great Dialogue. And one of the ways in which people become aware of this Great Dialogue was through a group of books that was published as a set and compiled by Mortimer Adler, and it was called Great Works of the Western World. And it had a thing called a synopticon in it, and it showed where all these things were sort of linked to each other and things like that. Now, the thing is, I mean, it just sounds snobby about this, And, it's going to come off sounding snobby, so here goes. Basically, if you're not aware of certain things in culture, certain things in writing, in music, and, art and things like that, you don't have reference points to really make an accurate judgment on things being presented to you in the media. And there's plenty of times when there'll be a reference, and even in TV shows, and like the most inane and prosaic of TV shows, to things from the past and different works. And these references are a whole another type of language that opens up a door for a whole message that is being implied or disseminated, that if you don't know that reference, you're completely in the dark to what's actually being said on different TV shows, on the news, and music, and all kinds of music. From classical to country to hip hop. There's references being made based on these older works. And those references actually are meant to impart information either to those in the know or in a manipulative way on those who don't know what they mean. So one of the best things a person can do to safeguard themselves against these things is get to know some of these aspects of our mutual culture worldwide, for the last few thousand years. I mean, it just takes a little bit, of effort now with this thing called the internet, and you hear something that sounds a little bit off, look it up and see what it means. God, just don't go spouting off, oh, blah, 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 you people are conspiracy nuts and whatever like that. Check the things out, my God. It's not that hard, folks. And you shouldn't just automatically take your, this is right because a fact-checking site like Snopes said it is or not. It's like that's one of the god-awful worst sites you can go on. Anytime you want to check something out, you should go to multiple sources and not just one end-all, be-all thing. It's really ridiculous, people. And you just need to get your mind together on this kind of thing, and it's easy enough to do. All you have to do is just type in some reference that seems weird, and you'll find out maybe what it means. And it might be something innate, but it also might be something of major import that can affect your life in the future or later. It can be a difference to your children's lives. I'm sorry right now, but I'm going to have to go for now because a part of the problem I have with this myasthenia gravis is it also affects my tongue at times. Myasthenia gravis is a autoimmune disease. It's not transmittable, and it comes about from thymus gland not shrinking with age, and sending out these antibodies that attack the nerve and muscle connections in the body. So my tongue's getting a little bit hard to talk right now, so I'm going to sign out, and hopefully I will be able to record some more of these, and hopefully they help some people, and okay, have a great day, folks. Great night.